Hi Pisces, and welcome to your September general message. I am Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome on in to your general reading. We just had the Pisces full moon that ended August with a bang. It's been a whirlwind. August has been a pretty dense month, but with that being said, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of beautiful change, a lot of revelations for the collective, for all zodiac signs. For you, this Venus retrograde that we've been experiencing has been your 6th house. And I feel like having the full moon at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, it made August a highly emotional month, but it also made it a month about really coming to terms with what Venus is asking of us. What do we value? What do we believe in? How do we love? Where do we want to deepen our love for ourselves and others, right? How can we create beauty in the world? How can we deepen our connections to beauty? And how can we enjoy life? Right? How can we enjoy life's splendors? And it's in your 6th house. So for you, it's a lot more about like the daily rhythm, the daily routine, the way that you can make that happen for yourself. Health. We've been talking a lot about health for you. You can look back at my August general message. I have a mid-month check-in as well if you want to dive a bit deeper into Venus energy. But nonetheless, we're in September now, right? And you just had this full moon in your sign. So you're coming in hot into September with it. I feel like an epiphany, kind of like, you know, a clean slate. Like I said, August was more of the epiphany, I'd say. September is more of the decompression from all of the sudden revelation, right? We had Venus square Uranus as well. So yeah, August was a lot. There's a lot going on there. So September 4th, Venus goes direct. So this will be a great time for you to finalize maybe a schedule of yours. Maybe you're finally getting into the rhythm of a new schedule, a new routine. You're finally starting to tackle some of the issues on your health. Maybe finally getting a diagnosis, committing to something, right? The 6th house is also about mentorship. So maybe you are finally seeking help, right? We also have Mercury going direct September 15th. So by the mid section of the month, I feel like we'll feel a little bit more light, you know. September is also a big month, again, not only for decompression from all these retrogrades. We're still feeling them in September, but this is more of the finality is the way that I see it. I see a lot of things closing up loose ends, finding closure, finding peace. And then October is eclipse season. So October is where a lot of the things are eclipsed out. But I do see September as the preparation for that, you know, wrapping up loose ends, like I said. It's preparing us for eclipse season, which is all about bringing in new, fresh energy, new beginnings, especially after all of this downtime, right? Preparation during the retrograde planets that we're experiencing. You know, we're in the heat of about 7 planets that are retrograde right now. Think of like molasses, you know, and really like enjoying all the subtle details to life. That's that Venusian energy, is like even like looking at a plant, you know, and really enjoying in the splendor of something that's so simple. You know, the fine detail of something. I almost see like a magnifying glass, like peering into something a bit deeper. So all good for this month with those 2 planets going direct. By the mid-month, we'll have Venus and Mercury going direct. So again, a lot of this finality. Then we have the Sun and Mars joining up together on the 23rd, which will be a sudden burst of energy, right? A lot of people with retrogrades, they kind of feel a little bit more, not like lethargic, and that's not really the word, but things just don't always work the way we want them to, because we're being asked to slow down, right? To really pay attention to the small detail, the things that we might not always see. So the universe will step in to kind of slow things down a bit so we can really examine things. But then Sun and Mars together is a powerhouse, right? That's like, you know, very driven, you know, high motivation, it's going to be in your 8th house. So I see things picking up for you on the financial end. If you feel like you've been struggling with, you know, maybe meeting expectations or coming to some sort of business agreement. The 8th house does talk about investments, it does talk about even like inheritance. But the thing I love about the 8th house that's so mysterious, it's scorpionic energy. And a lot of astrologers talk about, you know, finances, investments, you know, passive income, this and that. But I really like the more sexual, primalistic side to Scorpio. I feel like the hidden needs, the things that people don't know about us, like Scorpios are perceived to be a bit more secretive, right? A bit more complex, like below the surface, things that you might not know about them. So that's really what the 8th house is to me. I feel like is most important. Yeah, finances are a big part of it, but when I think of scorpionic energy in the 8th house, I feel more driven to talk about, you know, our needs, our primalistic needs. And the things that we might not openly talk about. And we may talk about it, and we might be really open with our partners, but this is like a doorway to deepen our understanding of what it is that we are truly desiring, especially sexually. You know, Scorpios rule the reproductive system. There's a lot of inner power and inner confidence in this house when you can really dig deep into who you are and live authentically in that. It's very powerful. That's Scorpio and its fullest expression, right? And a hunger for knowledge too, right? With the 8th house being highlighted for you. A hunger for knowledge and being motivated by something. So you might be feeling that towards the end of the month, Pisces. And not only that, on the 29th, we have a full moon that's in your 2nd house. So I do see things picking up for you at the end of the month, especially around finances and money, right? 2nd house is definitely more of that money house for me than the 8th house. Like I said, 8th house is more passive income, inheritance, but 2nd house is like your paycheck, right? It's Taurus energy. It's how are you building, you know, how are you, it's everything you have. How are you being resourceful? How are you making money day to day, right? So you might even be opening up to a new career endeavor. All right, so enough about the astrology. Let's dive into the tarot. What do we have for the Pisces collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Pisces. Ooh, shadow self. Are you facing your demons, Pisces? It seems as though you have been, right? Being honest, honesty, being very honest with yourself and the parts of you that you might have found shameful at some point, but again, the retrograde is asking us, the retrogrades, I should say, are asking us not to view ourselves from one way of thinking, I guess. I'm trying to word this in the right way, because I know what I'm thinking, but I'm trying to direct it to you. So retrogrades ask us to refine, right? And in that refinement process, we come to terms, right? We talked about finality in the month of September, wrapping up loose ends. In that process, we start to, again, understand ourselves deeper. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? Within these retrogrades, we have been faced with a lot of issues, you could say, circumstances that are necessary for our growth. However you might perceive them, that's up to you. So with the shadow self card coming up, it's like, with all of this revelation, with all of this understanding, you're starting to accept the shadow side of you, because it will always be there, right? It doesn't necessarily go away. And people think that, the spiritual community, all love and light. No, it's not. The shadow part of us is a part of us, and it's learning how to integrate it into our personality, into who we are, and not shaming those parts of us. Specifically for you with the 6th house and the 8th house, right? We talked about kind of like the taboo, the hidden parts of us. So it's like not being ashamed of who we are, right? Even below the surface. And with the 6th house, it's like beating ourselves up about maybe some sort of routine, habit, addiction, and even like, like shaming our bodies is what I'm getting here with this card. It's like coming to terms with it, being really honest, and not like victimizing ourselves anymore. And again, loss is here too. So it's like, I see this as like stripping away parts of us that don't serve us. And it might feel like we're losing a part of ourselves, because we are, right? But it's for the benefit, right? Silver lining. Yeah. It's to bring more balance into your life, but it might feel like a loss in the beginning. And it also could be talking about a person, right? Coming to terms with a relationship of yours that maybe is not helping you grow. And it might feel like a major loss in the beginning, but then there's a silver lining there. So that could be happening for you over the next several months, especially with eclipse season coming up in October, right? There's eclipse in and out of our lives. Things get a bit shaken up, right? And that Sun-Mars energy is helping us, motivating us to be prepared for that, and to kind of get that momentum going, right? Especially for you around some sort of creative project, right? This eclipse season might actually be bringing you in some money, some new creative ideas. All right, Pisces, let's pull some tarot for you. What do we have for Pisces? For the month of September, Pisces. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I'm just gonna pull from the bottom there. Okay, so it does look like you are letting go of the outside conflict, but the 5 of Wands could also just be that inner dialogue, right? We saw the shadow self card. It's like befriending the beast. I keep seeing the strength card. I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet, but it looks like you're letting the naysayers pass by. And you're starting to get more confident this month, it's looking like. You might be even dealing with a fire sign, or might have heavy fire in your chart. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Paired up here with the Queen of Earth. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is a masculine and feminine, so I could be talking about a relationship dynamic here. But another way to look at this is, again, bringing in some sort of material wealth, right? With the 8th and 2nd house being highlighted for you this month, it's a lot around the pentacle, a lot around finances, finding ways to be resourceful. That's the Queen of Pentacles. And that Mars Sun energy is definitely the King of Wands, right? It's like passion, right? Think of Aries. You might have Aries in your chart or dealing with an Aries. But you are determined. You are steadfast and determined this month. It's looking like 8 of Earth with the 8 of Wands. And it's reflected here. Look at that. You have fire, earth, fire, earth. So not only are you being grounded and practical, but you're wildly ambitious and creative and adventurous, right? Being able to take a risk. That's really what financial opportunities are. There's always a risk involved, right? You have to, play the cards, right? You have to be able to gamble sometimes in life and just take action. And that Sun-Mars energy towards the end of the month, I think you're going to get a fire. You're going to feel that momentum spark up for you this month. And being really determined, 8 of Pentacles. This also talks about travel with the 8 of Wands. So some of you might be traveling for work. But there's a lot of determination here, whether it's around career, relationship. I'm seeing like feeling motivated again by something. The Moon card here. This is your energy, Pisces. I want to clarify this. What is this Moon card about? Because I feel like that's maybe something you're coming out of, given all the other cards that I'm seeing here. But let's clarify what this Moon card's about for you, Pisces. What's the Moon card here for Pisces? Okay, I keep seeing that 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So, you could be telling me that you have broken apart from some sort of financial agreement, long-term vision, long-term goal. That is 10 of Pentacles. This also talks about like a family, but the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is like breaking away from something, breaking away from that, and now it's like determined on a new path. That could be one way of looking at this. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon card, I do think this is that stagnant energy, feeling stuck in something that's not serving you, right? The wheel is not turning because it's in reverse. But destiny always plays itself out, right? Whether we like it or not sometimes. And I feel like you're coming to terms with something this month. Again, there's this finality. There's like a closing of the Moon energy. The wheel is going to turn for you, I'm feeling. I want to clarify though. Wheel. What is this wheel about? What is this wheel about? It wants to turn for you, especially with all these other cards around this energy. There's that Strength card. I knew it was going to come out eventually. So this could definitely be around a love interest with the 2 of Cups here in reverse. The Pisces that I'm talking to, it seems as though you might be even realizing certain people around you are not serving your highest good. Certain relationship dynamics are just not serving you anymore. And you're going more into the star energy, this more reflective energy. And coming out of that is where you end up really finding this passion, right? This movement. I feel like the brakes have been pumped for a while, and it's like now is the time. I'm feeling the latter half of September is where this energy is coming in for you. So that's really exciting. We're going to take this over to Patreon because I do want to dive into a love spread for you. If you want to follow me over there, we're going to look into this 2 of Cups energy because I'm very curious to dive more into this potential soulmate energy and what's going on. If you want to follow me over there, you can find all my information in the description box below. Thank you, Pisces. Be well.